All right. Well, welcome back to Beginnings. This is session number 4. Very good. Session number 4. Man and dinosaurs? Are you serious?
My thoughts exactly, Eric. Are you serious?
Could man and dinosaurs ever have actually lived together?
The answer is no, Eric. Members of the phylogenetic clade Dinosauria were found only in sediment dating between the Triassic period 230 million years ago and the late Cretaceous period 65.5 million years ago. Homo sapiens weren't fully developed until only about 200,000 years ago.
I meet a lot of people that say, wait a minute. You're a Christian and you believe in dinosaurs? What is up with that? I thought Christians couldn't believe in dinosaurs because dinosaurs lived millions of years ago. Ain't no way. No, check it out. We learned in session number 2, the earth is not old. It is, this is a young earth. There's a limiting factor on how old this world actually is. It is not millions or billions of years old. It's only about, anybody remember? Only about 6,000 years old, exactly right. So we talked about the age of the earth. We talked about creation and evolution and how both of those are what? Session number 1, both of those are religions. That's right, they're both religions. Both creation and evolution are religious worldviews.
Creationism is a religious worldview because it comes pre-packaged with specialized myths, dogma, practices, and is not open to scrutiny or revision. Conversely, evolution is not a religious worldview. It's not even a worldview. It's not even a view of anything at all. Evolution is just the model that explains the changes in allele frequencies over many generations. It has no dogma attached to it, no ideologies, no myths, and it is always being revised. Even if evolution didn't have a shred of evidence to it, it still wouldn't qualify as a religion because it is independent of beliefs and culture, and makes no statement about morality other than how it came about. There is no worship, no prayer, no ideology, and no doctrine. Evolution is about as much a religion as Kent Hovind is a doctor.
And then we talked about the fact that the earth is young. And then last session we came in and we said that, man, when God originally made the world, it was good. It was really, really good when God originally made this world. His original creation was great. And now we're living in a ruined, a destroyed, a judged creation. Now, we compared that to the evolutionary worldview, which definitely believes that dinosaurs and man did not live together. I mean, evolution and the Flintstones just don't quite go together, okay? The idea that man and dinosaurs lived here at the same time, that doesn't fit with their worldview. It doesn't fit with the way they see things in this life. But I think there's a lot of evidence to show man and dinosaurs did indeed live together. And that's what I want to talk to you about in this session, man and dinosaurs. Man and dinosaurs. Now, last session we discussed the fact that there was a canopy of water surrounding Earth's atmosphere. Some people say, Eric, how did that water stay up there? Well, honestly, I don't really know for sure. Some scientists suggest that layer of water could have been ice, because super cold water becomes ice, duh. And if you get it really, really cold, it actually becomes magnetic, and it could be suspended by Earth's magnetic field.
What a crock of shit. Magnetism is nothing more than a product of a changing electric field. While magnets do get stronger when they become colder, the same cannot be said for arbitrary compounds like water. While temperature might affect the protons and electrons in the water, the effect would be obscenely negligible. It certainly wouldn't be enough to let ice hover above the ground by half a meter, much less thousands of feet in the air. And entertaining the notion that this ice canopy did exist, it wouldn't be gravitationally viable, nor would it be able to withstand the ever-fluctuating barometrics of the upper atmosphere. It would have crumbled onto the Earth in a matter of minutes, and would likely have killed everything on the planet.
Very interesting. I don't know. All I know is the Bible says there was a layer of water up there. So that made life on Earth very different than the way it is right now today. The original creation was different than what we see today. Now, this guy in National Geographic, he says, no human being has ever seen a live dinosaur. Let me ask you something. Does he know that, or does he just think that?
Well, Eric, what does it mean to know something? This is a highly philosophical question that delves into the realm of epistemology. To paraphrase, no one can know anything other than their own existences, and even then only tentatively. Nobody who's honest with themselves will ever claim to have absolute certainty over anything outside of mathematics. There are degrees of certainty, levels of confidence. Only in the realm of mathematics can absolute certainties be made. When the author of National Geographic wrote that no human has ever seen a dinosaur, he wasn't writing dogmatically. He wrote with the understanding that the circumstance of a human having ever seen a dinosaur is unimaginably unlikely. It's about as likely as a monkey giving birth to a man, so close to impossible that it's not even worth considering the idea. So why do I bring up epistemology? Well, Eric, do you know that the world that you live in is not a dream or hallucination? Do you know that the sky is really what you consider blue and not what everyone else considers green? Do you know that tax fraud is illegal? You should try it. Actually, don't. Throwing you into prison along with your dad would be a cruel and inhumane punishment for the other inmates.
He thinks that. I mean, in order to know that, you would have to talk to every single person that's ever lived.
I see that someone has never taken a course in statistics. It would be trivial to explain why taking a census in the form of a survey for every person on the planet would not answer your question, so I'll go with the simple explanation. People are not reliable sources of information. This is why eyewitness testimony is the weakest form of evidence. Besides, you don't have to ask every person on the planet if they've seen Freddy Krueger in their nightmares to determine if Freddy is real or not, nor would that tell you anything even if everyone said that they did.
Did he do that? Did he talk to you before he wrote that? No, so there's no way you can possibly say no human being has ever seen a live dinosaur. Plus, we know that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And then on day 6 of creation, God made a man and named him Adam, exactly right. And Adam had the privilege of naming all the animals, right? So Adam must have seen dinosaurs. He got to name them. Exodus 20:11 tells us very clearly, for in 6 days the Lord made heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that in them is. What would that word all include? Everything, including dinosaurs. That's exactly right. He made everything in 6 days, just like the Bible says in several different locations. So we talked about that in the last session, how there was a different world before the flood, and there was that firmament and stuff, made life very, very different. We also mentioned at the very end that dinosaurs were basically big lizards that lived in the Garden of Eden.
No, they weren't. Lizards and dinosaurs are alike only at a very superficial level. They are different in that dinosaurs were warm-blooded, whereas reptiles are cold-blooded. Dinosaurs evolved and speciated at far faster rates than lizards, in that dinosaurs tended to fill large predator and herbivore ecological niches, whereas the only lizard in the world who is a top predator today is the Komodo dragon. Dinosaurs had forward-facing knees like mammals today, whereas lizards have side-facing knees. These are just a few of the differences, and they're not trivial ones either. If you let a lizard live long enough, it will not become a dinosaur because of their vastly differing taxonomic classifications. R.N. Raw would have more to say on this than I, but seeing as I'm not a biologist, I can only share a basic disproof of Eric's drivel.
Because reptiles never stop growing. They grow their entire life. We see that before the flood came and destroyed the world, the average age of man was 912 years old. That's old. Methuselah was how old? 969, exactly right. So we got the world before the flood was very different than after the flood, because after the flood, lifespans dropped off very quickly, okay? Now, reptiles grow their entire life. They never, ever stop growing. Some people say, okay, well, if dinosaurs were in the Garden of Eden, do you think Noah took them on the ark? What do you think? You think Noah took dinosaurs on the ark? How many of you say yes? How many of you say no? How many of you say, I really don't know, why don't you just tell me? Okay. I think we don't even need to worry about the dinosaurs. I think our main concern should be the woodpeckers. I think that would be a serious problem for Noah on the ark, okay? The woodpeckers would have caused a bigger problem than the dinosaurs.
Fuck the woodpeckers. I think that the biggest problem with Noah's Ark is how to get 2 members of each of 8.7 million different species and enough food to last them a year onto a boat with a volume of only 44,000 square meters.
Okay, back to the dinosaurs, though. Were dinosaurs on the ark? I'm going to say yes. There's no question. There's no doubt about it. Dinosaurs had to be on the ark. There really isn't any argument here, okay? You say, wait a minute, Eric. Dinosaurs are big. Right. The big ones are big, but the little ones, guess what? They were little. Noah was more than 600 years old when he built that boat. He was smart enough to figure out, you ain't got to bring the biggest ones you can find. You should take babies, okay? Just make sure and get a pink one and a blue one. That's going to be important later.
So you're going to synchronize the reproductive cycles of 8.7 million species, along with every species of dinosaur, so that they all give birth at the same time. Brilliant. And all the while, they're growing, eating, shitting, and fucking on the ark. That's perfectly reasonable.
But if you can take babies on the ark, that would be a lot smarter. And there's a number of reasons to bring babies on the ark. Number one, they are smaller. Duh. Number two, they weigh less. That coincides with the fact that they're smaller, okay? Number three, they eat a whole lot less. Plus, they're going to sleep a whole lot more. And they're tougher. You kids can run around, fall down, bounce back up, and keep on running. Us adults, we run around, fall down, and break. Or at least lay there for a while, okay? It's not quite as easy as it used to be. So the young ones would be a whole lot tougher. Plus, they're going to live longer after they get off the ark to produce more offspring. And that's the whole reason you're bringing them to begin with. So did Noah take dinosaurs on the ark? No doubt about it. Yes, he did. He didn't take the biggest ones he could find. He probably brought babies. By the way, the average dinosaur, average size dinosaur was the size of a sheep. So we're not talking, these 150, 200-foot long animals. We're not talking about hundreds of those things, okay? Average dinosaur, the size of the sheep. But God definitely told Noah, Noah, I want you to take 2 of each sort of animal. Take the cattle after their kind, the creeping thing after his kind. He told him to take the animals after their kind. He did not have to take 2 of every single variety of animal on board the ark, okay? There's a variety of dogs in the world. Noah did not take 2 of every variety of dog.
Supposing that he didn't take every subspecies of dog, a dog, or C. lupus, counts as one species. There were 8.7 million species on that ark, even if you cut out all the subspecies and subspecies. Remember, different species cannot reproduce with each other unless they are closely related, so however you look at it, if there were 8.7 million animals alive today, then there had to be 8.7 million pairs of species on that ark. None of that microevolution crap. As if microevolution could produce the variety that we see today in a mere 4,000 years. And I'm entertaining the laughable notion that 2 members of a species can propagate an entire population. I'm going to be generous and ignore the detrimental effects of inbreeding, which would otherwise limit the average number of individuals of each species on that ark to about 50, which would make the situation even less plausible than it already is.
2 dachshunds, 2 Great Danes, 2 Chihuahuas. Well, Chihuahua's not really a dog, but anyway. He didn't have to take 2 of each variety on the ark. He just took 2 of the generic dog kind. That's it. There's a variety of horses. Probably the horse, the donkey, and the zebra had a common ancestor at some point in the past. Okay? I mean, when you stand back and look at these 3, don't they look like the same basic animal?
Eric, I just told you that microevolution would not produce the variety that we see today in a mere 4,000 years. The idea of a common ancestor giving rise to every type of horse, zebra, and donkey that we see today in such a short space of time is quite ridiculous, and is entirely inconsistent with the evidence. Please note that Eric only accepts evolution when it does not conflict with his dogmatic agenda.